The Miss USA pageant took place over the weekend, and it was hosted by Andy Cohen and Juliana Rancic. The only reason why I mentioned that is because I have a soft spot in my heart for Andy Cohen. Call me. Love to work for you one day. Anyway.
I don't even know who that dude is, but apparently
Andy
he's stealing
Cohen.
Anna.
He hosts Watch What Happens Live on Bravo. He's just really funny, and I really like him. But anyway, the person who stole the show was Miss Ohio. Her name is Audrey Bolte. And she was asked to talk about how women are portrayed in movies and, you know, what her favorite movie is. Let's watch what she had to say.
I think it depends on the movie. I think there are some movies that depict women in a very positive role, and then some movies that put them in a little bit more of a negative role, but by the end of the movie they show that woman power that I know we all have, such as movie Pretty Woman. We had a wonderful, beautiful woman, Julia Roberts, and she was having a rough time. But you know what? She came out on top and she didn't let anybody stay in her path.
Okay, the only thing I want to say about this is, what is it with beauty pageants and women having the worst grammar on the planet, like such as movie Pretty Woman?
Yeah,
as movie Pretty Woman?
No,
really?
I'll tell you why. I realized it as she was talking. You remember, of course, the famous Miss Teen South Carolina, such as, like, the Iraq War, etc. They must teach them, hey, you need to put together a coherent paragraph, and what you need to do is make your case, give an example, and use words like such as.
Such as movie.
Right.
Such as movie Pretty Woman.
Right. And so they take that advice literally, and instead of talking like a human being, they say, I thought Pretty Woman was a good movie, such as Pretty Woman. Okay, now we're being a little unfair to her. But look,
Yes.
now look, her point though, we can't be less unfair to, because Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts was a whore. Okay, now I know, that's too harsh. Okay, she was a hooker. I believe it's the same thing, but it's a more polite term. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's the same.
Sex worker.
Sex worker. That's a very polite term, okay? And I wouldn't call that a positive role model for women, but actually, more importantly, honestly, is that in the movie, she gets rescued by a really rich guy. The prince comes riding in his white limo and takes her away. It's not like you're a positive role model for women if you used to be a sex worker, but don't worry, by being a really good sex worker, you convince the guy to marry you who's really rich. Like,
You know who
I would have gone with a different example.
You know who would be proud of Julia Roberts in that role? S.C. Cupp. Because, hey, she found a wealthy man to take care of her, just like Ann Romney did.
That's S.C. Cupp, of course, conservative commentator, had said that that's, the right thing to do for a woman to find.
One of the best decisions that Ann Romney made.
Hey, there you go. Now, look, of course, Ann Romney was not like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, and we want to be clear about that. Okay, no such implication. Now, look, I feel kind of bad for her because when you get put on the spot, it's tough, man, to think of something right off the top of your head. I remember we were kidding around about playing Celebrity Jeopardy. No, but you remember Michael asked me the question of the capital of Lebanon, and I froze on Beirut? Come on, how easy is that for me if I don't have brain freeze, right? So in her case, you got to come up with a movie, and I thought, the minute I read the story, I said, all right, you got to come up with a movie right now, right, to answer the same question. If I get to think about it for minutes on end, it's not fair. And the only thing I could come up with was The Help. And I was like, well, there was women who were struggling in really tough circumstances, and they overcame it, and they empowered themselves. And I was like, it's okay. It's an okay example. So I just want to give you a sense of, like, you don't get to sit and think about it for a couple of days and write an essay about it. So keep that in mind.
I don't want to come down too hard on this woman. I mean, she's like, okay, she's participating in a beauty pageant. She's not a rocket scientist. I mean, I'm not to say that you can't be intelligent and be in a beauty pageant as well. But look, people are not watching that show because they want to hear what intelligent things these women have to say. This is the same beauty pageant that has like a swimsuit portion of it. Like, come on, let's keep it real. So I honestly don't care what she has to say about women in the movies and how women.
Oh, is that her?
In the movies. Wow. She looks a lot like Carrie Prejean.
Yeah, that's interesting. I changed my mind entirely. It was a brilliant answer. I vote for her. As I've gotten older, I'm beginning to wonder if there's value in these pageants. Okay, let's keep it real. Having said that, sometimes your answer there, meaning how bright you are and how well you conduct yourself, does make a difference.